right, guys, we got a fun one for you today. I'm here with my boy Cliff.
Jackson.
Last
Let's go.
episode of the year.
2024 coming to a winding.
Yeah. So Cliff, like me, is a marketing nerd. We geek out on marketing together all the time.
Yes.
And today I thought it would be fun to react to a bunch of controversial marketing strategies.
Let's do it.
So to start this off, I want to start off with the king of marketing, Liquid Death. Have you studied any of what Liquid Death has done to blow up?
No, I just seen him everywhere though.
Yeah, so actually to start, I want to start with how Liquid Death blew up. So Liquid Death was actually recently valued at $1.4 billion.
That's impressive.
But the way they actually started off was they did this commercial right here. So I looked it up. As of March 2024, they valued at $1.4 billion. But you know how they actually got their start? It was because of this video right here. So when they put out this commercial, they didn't even have a product yet. This was just, they made a mock-up of the can. He got a $1,500 budget to shoot this commercial.
Okay.
And the whole idea of this commercial was to generate buzz so they could line up investment capital.
Okay.
And so he put out parody commercials to get people's attention like with virality, and then he put a bunch of ad money behind it, and a lot of it was actually based initially off of this video. So I'll show it to you real quick. So check this out.
Hi, I'm a professional actor, and I'm getting paid to tell you about a revolutionary new product. For years, a bunch of marketing fuckboys have tricked you into thinking that water is just some girly drink for yoga moms. Just look at all the cute brand names and dainty little bottles. Well, hold on to your hot dogs, because I got news. Water isn't cute. Water is deadly. It kills innocent surfers and snowboarders and kayakers. Every year, water is responsible for thousands and thousands of deaths. Energy drinks only kill like, what, 1 or 2 kids? So please, don't fall for the marketing bullshit. Water is not yoga. Water is liquid death. And that's why this brand needs to exist, to finally give water the ice-cold can and ice-cold name it deserves. A brand that parents will hate, but kids might love.
Wow.
From the deadliest stuff on earth. Please, enjoy responsibly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this
That is
commercial,
a shocking commercial.
yeah, so this commercial, he followed, the guy that started his business, he followed a practice that he learned from Richard Branson, which is find a boring industry and make it exciting.
Okay.
So he looked at all these boring water brands and he's like, let's go do something controversial. So you have the can that looks like it's beer, right? You have a kid in high school drinking something that looks like they're drinking like a freaking
beer.
Like a beer, and people are like, what are that? Oh, Liquid Death. It's like, it sounds controversial. Like, why would you drink something that says death on it? And then using this, that can mock up. This product didn't exist yet. And then since that video hit in the algorithm, they put ad money behind it, and then YouTube ads, and then they took like, look at this, it has millions of views, and they used that to go find like the initial seed capital. I think it was like $250,000 or something like that.
To start the company.
Yeah, to start the company, and then that was 5 years ago. Now it's worth $1.4 billion.
But I like that. I think bootstrap businesses always do better than businesses that have all the capital at their disposal in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they just burn capital versus these companies have to be creative.
And what he did that was smart too was he got demand before he spent money on creating the product.
Yeah, that's genius.
You know
it's
what I mean?
Pre-sale. It's like Tesla Cybertruck.
Yeah.
All the iPhone does that. A lot of smart companies start pre-selling before the product's even finished.
Yeah, and then now this video has, let's see what it's sitting at. 5.3 million. Right?
It all started as a test video.
And they use that to get their capital, right? Now, one of the other strategies that, Liquid Death has all these crazy strategies they do following this kind of principle of like shock marketing. So that's where I wanted you to react to this one here. Check this out. So last month during a packed show at Chase Center, a woman was filmed allegedly urinating in the middle of the crowd. In a viral TikTok footage, the woman is seen squatting on the floor while the performance continued around her. Right? This went viral, and then Liquid Death decided, okay, we're going to drop something called the pit diaper. Right? It's literally a diaper that costs $75 so you can pee and not have to miss the show and miss your favorite song.
Oh my gosh.
And they sold out.
The diaper.
Yeah. And what's so genius about this is, what is one of the core markets that Liquid Death sells their drinks?
Concerts.
Concerts, festivals, right?
Yeah.
So now this becomes, you know, a viral marketing stunt built on the back end of something that's already viral, right? Combined with their infrastructure. This is the same model you see Tesla does, right? Like Tesla came out with the tequila or the flamethrower. They're leveraging the credibility they've already built with their brand to do these shock marketing products that actually make them money instead of costing them money. And the whole point of it is to make it go viral and create these items that they can sell at scale.
Genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So this is like, honestly, Liquid Death is one of my favorite marketing companies to study, because they've mastered the art of shock marketing.
Yeah.
Because they understand that all these platforms, it's just how do we create a pattern interrupt? How do we create a hook?
But they also must have some creative people in their office that doesn't believe in
CEO.
traditional marketing, because a lot of traditional marketing people would not touch any of the stuff that they did.
And that's what the CEO did, is before he did Liquid Death, he did like parody commercials.
That makes sense.
And then he used that to launch his company, and it just took off, right? Because you can't help but look at the brand. When you walk into Whole Foods and you see this can that looks like beer and it's got all these crazy skulls on it, and like, but it's water, you're like, what the fuck
The
is
first time I seen it, I went to a concert in San Bernardino, and that's all they had was Liquid Death. And I was like, what is this? This is water? Is this beer? So everyone around the concert's walking around with this Liquid Death can. It's like 2.5 years ago. And that's the first time I seen them. And then I started seeing them in stores. So I was like, how did they have enough money to buy out the whole distribution for water? I just didn't know who they were, but I was like, whatever, I'll drink this. But the thing that was annoying for me though is like I wasn't able to close the bottle once I opened it. So it was just like once you cracked open that can, you had to drink it, or you would just have to keep walking around with it. Yes, it was. You did have to buy more because you just wanted to get the thing out of your hand versus having a bottle with a cap that you can put in your back pocket.
Yeah. And how many water companies do you know that serve in a can?
None.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it was a little weird that they had a can. And it was like, it was interesting. It was good water too. Nothing bad about the brand, but I was just like, how did they position themselves?
That's how they did it.
To get this whole concert venue to only be able to sell Liquid Death.
And the other thing they do that's really smart is they do brand activations with people that move culture. So I went to this concert years ago in LA. It was thrown by these guys, Live to Create.
Okay.
They're like a big viral TikTok brand at the time in the underground music scene. And they had, it was like in a skateboard warehouse. It was like a warehouse they turned into a skateboard place.
That sounds fun.
And they threw a concert. It was just a bunch of underground artists that were like about to blow up. And the whole event was sponsored by Liquid Death, right? So they also understand like who moves culture, who are the people that are our target market, where if we associate our brand with them, it's going to edify us.
Yeah, because I think for them, I think it was Rock Nation that they were partnering with at that concert.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they got into Rock Nation. I was like, wow, who is this company? And I'd never seen them prior to that concert.
Yeah. So shout out to Liquid Death. They crushed.
Yeah, they're definitely putting in some work.
Another classic one that I don't know how people don't talk about this more, but I just thought this was hilarious. I want to get your reaction to this. Is the Michael Jordan Hitler Stash Hanes commercial. Do you know about this one?
No.
So this is before social media, and I think that's why this didn't become a controversy. But literally, straight up in this commercial, Michael Jordan has a Hitler stash.
Let me see.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Mike, I got a little constructive criticism for you. There's one thing I don't like about your commercials.
This is gonna be good.
Everybody's always showing you their underwear. It's not realistic. Now, me, I just got these. Comfort Flex waistband. Doesn't pinch, doesn't bind, nothing, man. I can get so low in these. Look at this. Look at this movement. I'm like a ballerina in these things. If I could take you, I bet in these. I bet I could take you.
The Comfort Flex waistband won't pinch, won't bind. New from Hanes.
So here's the question. Why do you think Michael Jordan was rocking the Hitler stash?
I don't know. I don't think that was his idea.
You think someone planned that?
I think somebody made him do that, or whoever made that initial commercial came up with that. I doubt that he came up with that, because that's not his style. To have that, that mustache specifically, you know? If he had a goatee, okay, but that mustache, I don't know.
Or do you think it was him just being like, fuck you, I'm Michael Jordan, I can do whatever I want?
I don't know. That's a good question. I do not, because Haynes had to have approved that.
Yeah.
So there's no way Haynes was going to let him do what he wanted. Somebody from Haynes internally must
Now,
have.
taking into consideration, this was before like social media and cancel culture was a thing.
I feel like people would still do things that can tarnish their brand reputation and still get bad press even before social media.
Why do you think that didn't?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. I can't comment on that one.
Right?
That one
I
to
just
me
thought
is just
that was
really
wild.
interesting because, yeah, I don't think I've ever even seen that commercial.
Yeah.
But I would think the higher ups at Haynes had to approve that before that went out.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is a little wild one. I don't know what the goal was either.
Yeah, so now the next one I got for you here is this one I thought was interesting. So one of the strategies you've seen people talk about is, you know, when we look at marketing and what actually gets outbound marketing to convert, one of the biggest pieces to the equation is personalization, right? And so you've heard strategies like lumpy mail, send someone something in the mail with something lumpy in it. Another strategy that people recommend is sending handwritten notes. So what people created was a machine that actually automatically writes handwritten notes.
Wow.
So it takes your handwritten note, you write it once, and then you can customize it, but it's writing it with an actual fountain pen.
Wow.
Do you think what's your opinion on that? Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think that's unethical? What's your opinion?
I think if you're like Warren Buffett, this is good. Because for me to be Warren Buffett and write millions of people or tens of thousands of people a hand note, if I'm like a small business with 100 customers, I might just take the time to write it. But I think it's time efficient. And I think it's definitely beneficial if you're a really, really big company. If you got 50 customers, you can write it yourself.
Well, think about the implications of this. Like, you could use this in your onboarding process.
For
Right.
what? For what?
So let's say someone joins. You could have that trigger an automation sequence that writes a custom letter through ChatGPT that feeds it into this, and then once it's done, you have someone mail that out to your new client.
That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Like one company, I forget what their name is, they mailed me something with my logo on it. And
That's
it was
awesome.
like, and then they had like their domain name at the bottom. It was like a puzzle type of thing. I still have that thing to this day hanging up in my house.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's, if you can give people something that resonates with them, they'll hang it up in their house. Even like, my mom bought a house like 20 years ago. The lady that sold us the house, the realtor, she sends my mom the magnet calendar for the refrigerator every single year. And my mom still puts it up. So I think there's a lot of creative ways that you can still give customers that feeling without having to do this. You can do this at scale, but I think if you give them something.
Well, I think this is an opportunity to blend traditional old school tactics with new age AI. So imagine with a lot of the data scraping tools that we have at our disposal, like the ones I use for sending custom personalized emails, we use that where we could get all this data, where you live, where you work, do you own your home, are you married, you know, what's your credit score? We can get all of that information online through data brokers. And so imagine if you took all that information, plugged it into a ChatGPT prompt that wrote a custom letter just for you, handwritten, and then mailed it to you.
I would like, it's a great idea. I'll give you another example. Every single time my mom has a birthday, the lawyers that she had, they send her a birthday card every single year. I think if you were to write a handwritten birthday card or a handwritten Happy New Year card or like something like that.
A coupon to your product.
Yes, I think that's more personalized and it's not something that's just going to get thrown away. Because if you write a letter, it's just another letter. But if you give them something with that letter, I think this is genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this if you add to it, it just makes it even more of a, I'm going to go hang this up somewhere and keep it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just drop some poetry on them.
Drop some sort of heat in the form of this device.
So this one's a little more controversial, right? Some things just taste better. It's for a coffee brand. Mm-hmm. And they got like a very promiscuous looking coffee bean here. Do you think this is a good ad campaign or a bad ad campaign? How would you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10?
I don't understand what the point is. If I had to rate it, I would give it a 3. Because I wouldn't know that that's a coffee bean. That could be chocolate to me. It can be anything. But I guess if they had more context to it, I think it'd be like a higher thing. But just looking at it, I wouldn't know that that's a coffee
But also
bean.
look at the context of what kind of ad it is. This is obviously some sort of print or billboard ad, right? Where you have to stand out even more to get someone's attention because they're not even paying attention to billboards.
I just don't know what it is. That's me though. I can be 100%
Really?
wrong. If I was to open up a magazine and I opened up a page and I seen that, I wouldn't know what to think. I would think it's a cool picture and some things just taste better, but I wouldn't know that that's coffee. But it does say
It's a-
Milgram, curated by Milgram Farino. Okay.
It's-
They'd have to give me some more context
Yeah.
for me.
But I
What do you
the
think?
whole
What do you
idea
think
is-
about it?
So I think it's important to think about the context of where someone's seeing this. Imagine seeing this at like a bus stop or a billboard, or I think it also depends on where it is.
If I seen this in a coffee shop, I know it's coffee. If I
Well, the
walked
whole
into,
idea is to promote this startup coffee shop.
I don't get it, and that's me. I could be wrong though.
Now, here's one thing to consider. We could argue that it's working because this is at the top of the Reddit thread I pulled it from. So it's turned into online viral marketing, and people are discussing.
Where did it start? There has to be a caption or something that adds to this to give people the context.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you think about billboards, right, you have a second to catch someone's attention, and they're not going to sit around and stand. So you need a very visual pattern interrupt to get their attention.
And I think it depends how much money you have. There's some people that do billboards and they don't care about the ROI. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at Demopolis We Win, he doesn't even have his
Yeah.
number on the billboards.
Yeah, that bro has like 100 billboards.
But none of them have his phone number on them. Then
Yeah.
you'll see other ones where it's like Navik Law.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even think he has his number on most of his either.
Yeah.
So I think some are just brand awareness, and then some are trying to more ROI driven. I think
I
what's
think this is
ROI
more
driven,
guerrilla marketing. I think they're trying to do shock marketing that gets people's attention and causes controversy.
maybe. But it's just like everybody's why is different.
Yeah,
I think that Liquid Death commercial is way better than this.
yeah.
Because it speaks specifically to an audience and it speaks specifically to a problem, and then it has the shock value in a video form.
Yeah. I thought this one was pretty interesting. They're putting little druggie bags
With
with their
QR
QR
codes.
code on it.
This is kind of funny. This is definitely a shock value and attention, I would say.
And this, well, here's the context. It's to promote a book about addiction.
Wow. That makes sense.
So they're dropping bags that look like little bags of cocaine on the ground with a QR code to promote their book about addiction.
Wow. That's powerful.
So that is serving your target market.
That's powerful.
That's getting the attention of your target market.
Who's reading the books, though? You think addicted people are reading books about addiction?
What type of people are picking up a bag of cocaine off the ground?
Probably someone that's addicted to something. But do you think those are readers?
If they want to stop their cocaine addiction.
Maybe. I think overall this is a genius marketing strategy.
What would you rate this one out of 10?
I give this a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the question is, where do you drop this? Where would you be dropping these?
I don't know. Maybe like in the...
I'd be dropping these on college campuses.
Yeah, the audience of who has the addiction is different. If you're dropping it off at a homeless community,
Yeah.
most of those people are not reading books. But
Yeah.
I would think a college campus, I think
But also think about how cheap it is. Like, how cheap are like 1,000 of those bags
with a piece of
with a
paper
little
on it.
piece of paper in it.
Really, really inexpensive, I'd say.
Yeah.
And really direct to the point. And then they're not physically handing out books. So it's not costing them that much money because it's a digital copy of the book as well.
Yeah. Genius.
Yeah, I think this is genius.
I give it a 10 out of 10 too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the last one I got for you. So this one's a little more subtle. I don't even know if they meant to do this as a marketing campaign, but they put 10 flickering lights, but the font came out like, do you think they did that on purpose?
Probably. There's no way you would get thousands of boxes without looking at one to make sure. I think it stands out. 10 flickering lights. Is it 10? Yeah,
It's 10
because
flickering lights.
yeah, they just make the
Did they
arrow
have
in
to
the
do
eye.
that on purpose? Because who's saying flickering, bro?
I don't think anybody is.
Yeah.
But 10 effing lights, or 10 effing lights, basically. I think this makes them stand out on the shelf, and I think the orange color definitely makes them stand out on the shelf. I would probably give this like an 8.
Yeah, I give it an 8 too.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost seems it's either a very coincidental accident or
No, that's intentional. No way.
or it's intentional.
That's intentional.
Yeah.
The bosses, whatever shelf that is, let's say if that's a Walmart or like a big department store, they're paying a lot of money to just get there, to get that shelf space.
I'm surprised that didn't get stopped by those people.
They paid enough to get them on the shelf. Like that's probably what it was. Like, you guys paid, we'll put you on your shelf. If it doesn't sell, it's not a problem.
Yeah, wow.
But that's
yeah.
a risk that they're taking. But I think they had to have some sort of data that would have hoped that it supported their decision.
What do you guys think? Comment down below. Do you think this was intentional, or do you think this was a coincidence? I want to hear your guys' opinion.
And would you buy these 10 flickering lights?
Yeah, let me know. Would that capture your attention? Because I feel like this would get my attention. And guess what I'm doing if I see this? I'm posting that shit on my story immediately.
10 flickering lights? Yeah. Especially if I'm into like decorating my house and all that other fun stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let me know in the comments. Do you decorate your house for Christmas or not? And do you like decorate it with Christmas lights and all that other fun stuff?
I don't do any of that shit, bro.
Yeah,
My
I
girl
don't.
does.
I like. Somebody was telling me though, like when I'm streaming, I need that backdrop, because like then I'm looking at Kai's, I'm looking at everybody's stream, I'm like, damn, I see what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Everybody got that Christmas backdrop.
Yeah, they gotta do the themes.
Yes, you have to do a theme for the holidays.
That's one thing I've seen that a lot of these really big streamers do that's really smart, is they switch up their set a lot.
Yes.
They have themes for the day.
Exactly. Like
Right?
they just did a Fortnite one. There's more
Yeah.
Fortnite. They did this.
Yeah.
It's just being creative.
Yeah.
So I think these lights help with your creativity. Like I have like a nice little neon lights around my whole thing. I went to some studio and I seen like the striped lights that they had. And I was like, yo, what is that? I bought that thing off Temu 100 feet. I think it was like 80
Yeah.
bucks, 90 bucks, whatever it was. Amazon, it was like double the price.
Yeah.
So 100 feet, those neon lights, they just add to the ambiance of a room.
Yeah.
So it's just decoration doesn't matter.
So overall, what's your opinion on guerrilla marketing and how that plays into how a business promotes itself?
I think it works better in some areas. If you're in Vegas, guerrilla marketing is definitely going to work. If you're like in the middle of nowhere, I think you need to be more strategic. So I think it depends on your location and depends on your industry.
Why do you think it makes a difference? Like if you're, why? Because there's more of a
Because Vegas,
local
you have
impact?
foot traffic. If you have no foot traffic, guerrilla marketing, I don't think is as effective.
Mm-hmm.
You can still go to somebody's door and put something in it too. That's still guerrilla marketing. But it just depends on your industry.
And maybe guerrilla is the wrong term. Maybe shock marketing is a better term for what I'm asking.
Shock marketing, I think if the executives at that company are open-minded to it, I think it will work, and I think it's worth a shot. And it's just kind of like a matter of testing things to figure out what works best for you. Like, I think some of the best commercials are like the Coca-Cola, Disney, M&M commercial, where it's like, he does exist, they do exist. Oh, that commercial doesn't say anything about the product, but it just takes the theme of like holidays and connects an M&M with Santa, which is what resonates with people, and drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So I think there's so many things that you can do. Like
It just seems like these large companies are so scared of doing the wrong thing. They're more worried about getting fired than producing results.
Yeah, it depends. It depends who's the leader. If
Yeah.
you're an Elon Musk type of leader, he's gonna make the flamethrower and make it go viral.
But in the world we live in, if look at Liquid Death's a great example. They're worth $1.4 billion
Who?
Liquid Death.
Like Liquid Death, yeah.
within 4 years, right? Look at Prime. Look at Happy Dad. Would you consider any of them safe? No, but they're stealing the market share.
I think-
Why? Because
yeah.
we're in an attention economy, and whoever has the most attention is going to sell the most product.
Yeah, like a Mr. Beast, like Mr. Beast Feastables, and it's understanding your audience, understanding technology, and then understanding how to leverage it. Like, I'm not sure if anybody watched the whole Kai Cenat Mafia-thon stream. McDonald's had a room where they had him and another creator testing out eating McDonald's on the stream. So that's where it's like a break in traditional media, but not every company's willing to do it.
And I promise you, that performed better than any single commercial they have.
Probably. And then there was one I think they did with like Cardi B and Offset, where they were just going into a car and they just had a bunch of McDonald's in their hands and he just kind of threw her in the car. It was just, oh, go get McDonald's.
Well, did you see that thing? It was like in Q4, Chili's like 25% of their revenue was traced back to one TikTok.
I did not know that.
There's this TikTok where this girl was like spreading apart a cheesy bite, and it went viral. And that literally they attributed to like 25% of their revenue.
How did they track that though?
I don't know. but I saw something about that.
I think any traditional company that's looking to step outside the box with social media and TikTok and creators is the best way to do it. And like influencers are the new corporations. That's why I invested so much time, money, and effort into becoming a creator, because I realized it just opens up doors. Like
I think people need to get more dangerous. I think they're playing it too safe.
you need to be calculated. I think it needs to be a calculated risk based off of your industry. Like to see Mr. Beast going from like a guy that was counting 10,000 words or whatever it is to hosting an Amazon TV show and having a big budget. I'm like, that's the power of a creator. No other industry are you able to go from just this small little thing to this big thing besides being a creator.
But even look at like, have you seen Nutter Butters TikTok?
No.
They're doing like, I'll end on this because I know we got to go. They're doing like dystopian ass shit. TikTok Nutter Butter. Look at this. They have the weirdest stuff, bro. But it goes viral. And we talk about it.
And it depends who your audience is, too. If you're looking to attract a younger audience,
yeah,
you
I guess
definitely
if you're like
need
the financial space, you would.
Yeah, this
But
stuff.
look at this, bro. This is Nutter Butter. The official Nutter Butter.
And this is their official. But they had some creative people in the office that were willing to test new
I don't know if
things.
I call this creative. I call it more of like a psychotic break. Watch this.
What's wrong, sweetheart?
And look at all the comments. They're like, the fact that this is posted by the official Nutter Butter account, like, Nutter Butter, I'm concerned.
We are all.
Like, it's literally like a bad trip. Like,
But either way, the fact that they are on TikTok, not too many companies are on TikTok, but how much money did this video probably make them, and how much exposure did it get?
I mean,
Because look at this. This one comment got 13,000 likes.
Bro, 10 million, 11 million, 11 million.
And that's free. That's free
all free.
eyeballs. You know how much it costs to get 1 million views
Like,
on a
what is
video?
this? What is that? Right? Like,
It's them testing things to figure out what works best for them.
2 million, bro.
Yeah, but
Like,
they're saving so much money
yeah.
by testing things, because to get 2 million views, even if you're paying like $13 per 1,000 impressions, that's like, that is a lot of money that they just saved.
Yeah.
So I think they're genius, and I think they're brilliant for testing the market and figuring out what works best for them instead of trying to be all traditional.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. I appreciate you hopping on.
Thank you so much, brother. This was
go. Have a
amazing.
good New Year's.
Yeah, shout out to Jackson and Power Team International and Bill Walsh,
Let's go.